A huge moo to the herd, and welcome to episode 19 of our Gregicality Skyblock playthrough. So in our previous episode we'd set up our lovely tree farm, which is going to be producing saplings, wood and apples, and we already had our chemical plant in the previous episode. So our plans for today are hopefully to get polyethylene. Now, one thing I did between episodes, well, quite a few things I did between episodes, I've set up this stainless steel chest and I've connected it up using XNet to the tree farm, and you can see we've got plenty of saplings, we've got apples, we've got loads of wood, too much wood. We'll have to do something with that at some point soon. What I've also done is if we disappear down into the underbelly of our base, sorry, one sec. Yes, I have set up an additional network. Now, you'll see these blue network cables. I've got some red network cables as well. And what I've done is I've connected those up to our chemical plant so that we can start extracting stuff out. Back upstairs. Now, we've got two networks effectively because we're running out of channels, or we have run out of channels on our original one. So I've set up a separate network, this one over here. So we've got some space to play around with. And I've also moved that power so it's not smack bang in the middle of the place. But what I've done is I've connected the two networks together. So we've got a router set up here, or router for those people who pronounce it differently from me. And this is basically allows us to connect up to 6 different networks together. So you connect a connection on each side, and that will allow you to route or route all your networks together. Now, the way you work this, so for instance, the energy converter, which is converting our GT EU power into RF, is sitting on our original network. And if you go over to here, that's our channel, and we've got extract from the RF power here and inserting into our tree farm. Well, rather than setting up another converter and cables and everything else to power this controller, what I've done is we've created a network here and we're inserting into the controller, even though that picture is wrong. Would be controller. Oh, it's the south side of the controller. That's fine. So we're inserting there. What I've done is I've named this channel RF Power 2, and I've named this channel here RF Power. And when I go over to this router, you can see that we've got a load of networks, channels names. One is RF Power 2, and one is RF Power. And if I give the channel the same name, so power and power, that'll allow me to route between the networks. So all I'm doing is I'm extracting from this network still, and we're inserting it into this one. So this controller is now fully powered, but it's coming from that network. And that's how we've done, we'll be doing all the routing between the two networks. So what do we need to do today? Right, well, I've already set up the controller here to extract from our output hatches from the chemical plant and insert into a tank over here. Now I'm using stainless steel tanks just for more space. So we've got sitting here 31.5 buckets of fermentation fluid, fermentation base I should say. We are also, now have I done it? Yes, I think I should have done. This channel here is called Tree Stuff. And what that's doing is over on this controller we've also got a channel called Tree Chest. And this chest here is all of the items from the trees. And what I'm doing is I am inserting, again, paired the networks up using the router. I'm inserting the oak saplings at maximum of 20 into the input bus. And if I go over to our input bus, you'll see that there's 20 saplings there. And this is just ticking away, making it's whatever it needs to. So that's all good. Quite happy with that. Right, the next thing we need to do is we need to take the apples that we're producing from our tree farm, and we need to fluid extract them. So I've got a fluid extractor here, Just hope this all works out. I'm going to pop that down here. I'll pop a hole in here. Good, there's nothing there. And I've got my red connectors here, so I'm going to connect that up there. Red network cable down there. And that will allow me to insert some apples in there. So let's just go downstairs. To get red dye, you'll notice I have some grass here. I just bought some grass from the in-game shop and just using bone meal on it until I get a load of poppies. So simple as. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it up from that one actually. 2, 3. Okay, so that should connect that one up there. Now, because the chest is set to extract on the other network, what I should be able to do is this stuff here that says tree stuff. I want to name you FE, fluid extractor. Find our fluid extractor. One here. We'll go here and we'll create. Where's that channel off? Did I switch that off? Possibly. Sorry if anyone didn't hear me, I had my hand over my mouth. Muffling my confused thing. So fluid extractor, insert. I want to insert some apples, so let's go grab an apple. Again, I don't want to overdo it, so I'll pop that in there, say maximum 10, and we'll just switch that on. Now what should be happening, okay, it's inserted oak saplings, which is not what I wanted to do, but that's now inserting the apples. It's brilliant. This is exactly what we wanted. So we've now got our fruit juice and we've got some mulch. So what do we want to do next? Right, so we're inserting apples into there. We're going to need an extract channel and we're going to need to then insert that into our tanks. So which ones? This is the water one I'm keeping. So I want to extract from here and we'll get a bucket. Should have nowhere to go at the moment. We'll take one of our tanks. Let's see, one of these should be a nice tank. Tanks, that's what I do. And I'm just going to switch this off. I'm going to insert fruit juice, switch that on, and one of our tanks should now start filling up with fruit juice. And it is. Brilliant. Okay, so I have fruit juice. I have my saplings, etc. So I just need to insert that into our chemical plant and that will be that bit done. So we'll create a new channel for fluids. Create. Right, insert in fruit juice. Just go grab another bucket of that stuff. Gosh, just so I know what we're doing. Right, so this is my fluid one, and one of these is an input hatch. Therefore, input hatch 1. Switch you off for now. Create, insert fruit juice, and extract from that one. That should be that. Okay, so when I switch this on, what should happen now is if I find my input hatch, That should be input hatch 1. And that should... It says crossing fingers. So that's 5 buckets. Why are you not extracting into here? Your input bus 1, your input hatch 1. Right, so extract fluid. Just double check you are the right one. You are indeed the right one. And insert, double click that. Okay, you're not the one I thought it was. So you're actually this one here. So it is working fine. Okay, so we can just forget that happened. I just got the numbering wrong. So we've now got fruit juice, we've got saplings, and this thing can just tick away. And all of the fermentation base will be extracted out of the output hatches and stored in this tank here. So the next thing we need to do with the fermentation base is to distill it into ethanol. So we'll grab one of our advanced distillers. I'm actually going to eat that apple. So we'll pop our distillery down. Okay, that's all powered up. And so our advanced distillery, which will now be connected onto the same one that says, actually let's rename that, FE Dis. I really wish the blocks would shard, but we've got what we've got until we move into AE2. Right, so this is our distillery. So I want to be inserting, what do I want to be inserting? Fermentation base. So switch this off quickly. Create a channel, insert fermentation base. So that's the FE Dis with the I. Grab a bucket of this stuff. We'll insert that. And that will be simple as that. And I'll just pop this back because I don't think I'll need this anymore. So if I now go switch this channel back on, this should start filling. Is this right? I need to extract actually from whichever one has the fermentation on. Is this one? So I need to extract, and that should then insert into there. And it is. And the one thing I probably will need is fermentation. And that annoying thing. There we go. No use for that. So we need a program circuit with 0 to get ethanol. To have program circuits on me. And now we will start to produce ethanol, which is brilliant because that's the next stage of what we wanted. What can we use the ethanol with? Well, we can use it in a chemical reactor with some sulfuric acid to produce ethylene and diluted sulfuric acid. Okay, so we want to make sulfuric acid is the next one. So what we'll do is we'll grab a chemical reactor. And we'll pop you here. And if you're in that corner, you need to be on this corner. Splat. And we'll pop that up there. We need to get the route through to some red cable. Not to be hard. Done. Have to make some more. And the other thing we'll need is a connector. Hopefully that's the right one. I get the impression that's not, no, the right one. Right. So this is CR for chemical reactor. And this is where we're going to need to do some jiggery pokery. So, I have a tank sitting over here of hydrogen sulfide. What I want to do is extract from that hydrogen sulfide. So if this is one of these tanks is called channels is called tanks. So do we have one for hydrogen sulfide? Yes, this one's for hydrogen sulfide. Oh, this is going to be tricky because that's inserting into there, and I want to extract it. What do you got in yours? You are inserting stuff and extracting from a tank. What tank are you extracting from? You're extracting from the hydrogen tank. Ah, I bet you're the chemical reactor for hydrogen and sulfuric light. Yes, because I can only filter one fluid at a time. That's going to make that tricky. Because if I try to extract, it's going to try and put the hydrogen sulfide into here as well. This is channel water. This might work. If I extract from whichever one was the hydrogen sulfide, that one. So if I extract from here and we take a bucket of hydrogen sulfide. Now water should be paired over. So water is. There's a channel here called water. And what I want to do is wherever our chemical reactor is, this one, I want to switch this off briefly, create and insert. Again, this isn't going to work because I can only insert the one and I need to insert two fluids. Bummer. Oh wait, hydrogen sulfide and water. So this is exactly what I want. I'm extracting water and I'm extracting hydrogen sulfide. So this should just work. Should just work. Did I switch that channel back on? Yep. So you are inserting from this one, which is water and here and here. Water is paired. Now I have found the routers to be a little bit weird. So if I delete that water there and go back in and say call you water. There we go. We now have hydrogen sulfide and water coming in, which will make us sulfuric acid. Right, so I have sulfuric acid, I have ethanol. And what I want to be doing is extracting that sulfuric acid because that will be useful later. So, where is our... Is this our tank? Yeah. So, we're just going to go create, extract from there. And insert into another tank. Find me a tank, there's plenty of them. That one, and create, insert. So one of these should start filling up with sulfuric acid. And it is. I've got hydrogen sulfide in my hand. Let me just fix that because I thought that was sulfuric acid. It's not sulfuric acid at all. What I need is to get rid of this. Wow, I used up all my hydrogen sulfide. And make sure that the insert is only sulfuric acid. Okay, better. Right, so I now have sulfuric acid, I now have ethanol. I should have ethanol anyway. Where is my ethanol? Why am I not extracting ethanol yet? Because I forgot to do that. Right, channel for tanks. Where is my distillery? Right, so you should be extracting. Under this, you are. Right, actually, what are you? Yeah, you're not the distillery. You're the distillery. So you're inserting that, so I want you to just quickly create an extract there and insert, find one of my empty tanks. You'll do, I'll keep on tanks 1 actually. Great, ethanol, enable, so we should now start filling up with ethanol. We have ethanol, we have lots of sulfuric acid. Well, we've got 64 buckets of sulfuric acid. That's brilliant. We've got 10 buckets of liquid fruit juice. And we've got fermentation base being made up very slowly. Yep. So we're good there. We've got all those elements done. The next thing is to take our sulfuric acid and our fermentation base. Sorry, not our fermentation base, our ethanol. And pop that into a chemical reactor. This one's going to make it a little bit tricky, but it should be okay. So I want fluid. Is this? No, it's tanks. You want to be extracting from. What are you? You are fruit juice, that's no good. Your fermentation, still no good. Your ethanol, okay. So, want you to be a fluid one. Create. I said that was no, I said that was ethanol. And we want to create an extract from there. And I need the one for what else? Sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid, we want that to be an extract. And we need to find our chemical reactor. Here we are. And we create and insert. So now I have sulfuric acid, ethanol, and slowly but surely I will have some ethylene and some diluted sulfuric acid. And what I can do is I can take the diluted sulfuric acid and then run that through a distiller and get sulfuric acid back, which will be pretty good. And then I will then have the ability to mix up the last one, which is chemical reactor with oxygen and ethylene, and we will get our polyethylene, and we can extract all that off. So we'll just let this done, because I'd like a bucket of ethylene. Okay, so I have diluted sulfuric acid and ethylene. I'll grab my bucket of ethylene. And what I want to do is we'll put this in tanks 2, tanks 2. There should be another empty tank, shouldn't there? Or have I miscalculated? So 2 tanks there. 2. Yeah, I think I've miscalculated. That's fine, I'll use tanks 2. Right, so tanks 2, we want to switch this off briefly. Create, insert ethylene, and from our chemical reactor, is that the right one? Yep, we got the right one. I want to create one that's extract, and that will insert into the tank when I switch this on. And that means I need one more tank, so if I switch that on, now this may not work depending on what the first one is. Is working. That's ethylene. So if I now go into here and grab my diluted sulfuric acid, what we can do is I can grab my distillery. This might actually work. Advanced distillery. I just pop this on top of here with another connector. And say, right, so diluted sulfuric acid. Let's see. Use for this in a distillery with program circuit 0. Yep. Okay. And then I can set up the extract on that. And we'll take it from there. So I'm just going to pause here, get that bit set up, and then get ourselves ready for the last bit, which is the oxygen and the polyethylene. So we'll be there. Okay, so I do have a bit of a problem in that I can't get oxygen from my other network into this one due to lack of channels. So I'm going to have to sit down and really sort out all the channels because it's a bit of a mess at the moment. So I've just grabbed a tank of oxygen, pop that in. That's got our ethylene in as well. So polyethylene, chemical reactor with program circuit 0. That is 0. Pop that in. And then we have polyethylene, which is brilliant. It's exactly what we wanted. So the only thing I have left is to make sure that if I've got an empty tank, which I do. So this one, I want a bucket of polyethylene. And we'll say this tank here. Switch this off briefly. Insert that. And then extract from our little guy here. Switch that back on. We should start seeing the polyethylene coming out of there. I need to get some more oxygen, I think. But there is our tank of polyethylene. So we've got 1.94 buckets, which is not bad. I'm pretty sure I had a load of oxygen in the electrolyzer. Did. So I'm quite pleased with that. If I can sort out the channel situation, that will make life considerably easier. But there we go. So we're producing 216 millibuckets of polyethylene each time. So we've just got over 3 buckets there. So great. We now have a supply of polyethylene. And if we can get the situation with the oxygen sorted, then it'll be fully automated. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, feel free to give it a like. If you'd like to see more episodes, then please feel free to subscribe. Until then, I wish you a very pleasant day. Goodbye.